First, so my colleague Andrew Clennell caught up with the Foreign Minister Penny Wong in the neighbouring seat of Sturt. She was there campaigning alongside Prime Minister Albanese.
Penny Wong, thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you.
How are you feeling about the campaign? Your old mate Anthony Albanese seems to be going a lot better than he was a couple of months ago.
I think the Prime Minister has outlined a clear vision for this country. We saw that from the start of the campaign. We saw that at the launch yesterday. But look, we know we've got a very big hill to climb. We know how hard elections are to win. We certainly don't take anything for granted.
You're known as a pretty tough person on ERC. How are you feeling about all this spending that's going on at the moment?
Look, these policies have been worked through, and I think they are really sound policies, and that's adding to the strength of the offer that we're putting to the Australian people. In addition, we've got really good candidates like Claire Clutterham here in Sturt. What I would say is I think people are waking up to Peter Dutton and understanding that he's negative, he's aggro, and he has $600 billion of secret cuts he won't talk about to fund his nuclear reactors.
Well, you are on the attack here in Sturt. Do you think this is a red-hot show to win this seat?
Oh, it's a tough seat. Obviously, it's been held by the Liberals for a long time, but Claire Clutterham is an outstanding candidate, really from the community, and I think certainly would be a much better MP than the incumbent.
You'd love to get Chris Pyne's old seat, wouldn't you?
Well, I think we want to get more Labor seats because we want a Labor majority government to continue to do the work that we've been doing. Obviously, it's been a tough time internationally and still is, and we want a majority government because that's the best way to navigate uncertain times.
Now, if you win, are you thinking about retirement this term, like people are saying?
No, I'm not.
You're sticking around?
I am, and look, this is such a privilege and an opportunity to do this job.
Finally, Donald Trump, he had a bit of a, step back on the tariffs. Does that fill you with some kind of hope? And given that he's sort of featuring in this campaign, you guys are saying Dutton's taking some of his policies. Does that present difficulties for you as a Foreign Minister going forward?
Well, I think it's pretty clear that, Mr Dutton and certainly Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price have, looked to the US for a lot of inspiration for their policies and even some of their slogans. But, I think this is a challenging time internationally. We know there's a lot of change, a lot of strategic competition and economic competition. And one of the reasons that I would say to people it's important to vote for a majority Labor government is that will give us the stability and certainty to navigate uncertain times.
If Anthony Albanese were to win, just finally, how soon do you think he should try to go to the White House?
Look, I think you've seen the Prime Minister from the first day we were elected investing in our relationships in our region. We went to the Quad where we met obviously all of the Quad partners in Tokyo on I think it was the day we were sworn in. We've spent a lot of time putting a lot of effort into the relationships in our region, Japan, Korea, India, Southeast Asia, as well as the United States. And that's very important in this time of instability, to make sure you are in our region, invested in the region, engaged in the region, and of course in the Pacific. Peter Dutton, we know what he's like. In the Pacific, people still talk about his joke about climate change and water lapping at the doors. He still is talked about there. And in this region, when he did his foreign policy speech, he didn't mention Japan, didn't mention Korea, didn't mention India or Indonesia or Southeast Asia. He is lost in our region, which is where our security, stability and prosperity lie.
Penny Wong, thanks so much.
Great to be with you.